Cool. All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? How are you, babe?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, we are flipping things around tonight. It is International Women's Day, for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know up until about an hour ago. Um, but we are going to flip things around, and I am actually going to interview my favorite woman, my wife. And we're going to talk about not Broncos, Jeeps, and plans and all that sort of stuff. So thanks for joining us. Hey, hey!
Hey.
I did it. I didn't mess that up.
I was wondering there for a minute. This whole lack of control is not good for me.
Well, this having too much control is too much for me. And we'll see, we've got Troy confused. We got Troy confused. So yeah. And I'm trying to juggle too many things right now. All right, I think I'm good. Here we go. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? Why are we here? What are we doing?
I don't know. You told me to do this. Told me to be here.
I'm pretty sure that was the other way around. You said, "Hey, you're interviewing." No. So we want to talk about that beautiful pink Tuscadero thing behind you, but and the plans for it, what you've done so far, how you got it, and future things down the road. But first, let's talk about why you got it, because you've caused quite the stir on the socials and with people that follow us, because you've been saying for a long time that you wanted a Bronco.
I do. It's still very much true. And actually, we still have one on order. So maybe whenever we actually get it in, it'll be time for Kelsey to have a vehicle. And that could be like how I still get a Bronco.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
No, you actually have to wait, like I think about a month or so before you can actually cancel your order. If you're not going to get it anytime soon, anyways. But yeah, I definitely wanted the Bronco. I love the way they look, and I love the idea of trying something different. That's one of the reasons why I had the Grand Cherokee, was just because it was a platform that wasn't really known. And so Ford Bronco was that for me, and it looks really sharp too. But it's also that part of the reason why I didn't go with the Bronco is because it's an unknown, and I mean, there's not a lot of stuff out there for that. And everybody in our group, Nathan, he had just purchased his Wrangler Rubicon, and he left it here one weekend, and I was just looking at it in the garage, and I was like, I really want a new vehicle.
Yeah,
So
you were missing the good old days of having a Wrangler, weren't you?
I was, but I've never had a Rubicon.
That is
So
true.
this was a big deal.
That is true.
And it's pink.
You had a two-door Sport when we met.
Mm-hmm.
That lifted on 35s
30.
that you wheeled pretty darn hard.
I don't think I ever put 35s on that.
Yes,
Wasn't
you
it at
did.
30?
Yes, you
Oh,
did. Your trail grapplers were 35s.
okay, maybe.
Because remember, I told you not to put 35s on it because I said 33s were enough, and you're like, no, I got to be bigger. Pretty much the same story that we're having now.
Well, now, yeah. Can you ever be too big?
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's up, Kyle?
So Mr. Bronco owner there, who started part of this, Kyle, you were part of the problem by letting her drive your Bronco at Rendezvous in the Ozarks. 3 years when it gets delivered. That's another reason why she doesn't have a Bronco.
Very true.
Okay, but really talk
I
through.
have no patience. Zero patience.
She has none. Talk through why you made the decision you did.
Well, it's pink. B, I knew that I could get you on board more with a Jeep versus any vehicle. So
I mean, you're not
I
wrong.
knew if I came to you and I was like, I found this really nice pink Jeep. And honestly, it was just so hard to find. I wanted to be able to have a Rubicon. I wanted the color. I wanted basically as much as I could get, but it's also a limited edition. So I knew it was very hard to find everything that I wanted in this Jeep, which it's got pretty much everything that I want. And actually, I color matched my hair, Troy.
The Jeep King, unlike, yeah, my
Yeah,
hair was already,
I've got nails to match.
she
I've got
does.
hair.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah. My hair was already this way when we got Sully, and she changed her hair to match her Jeep because apparently
Yeah,
that's a thing in this family.
yeah.
Um, so,
But yeah,
um,
I drove to Mobile, Alabama. Um, Stayed with Betsy and James. It was actually the night that I had you come on the podcast. We got the heads up about an hour before that podcast
no,
started.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
so I immediately left and I stayed halfway at Betsy and James. They live in Mississippi. And then I made the rest of the trip straight into Alabama. And they had already run all the stuff beforehand. I basically just looked it over, test drove it, FaceTimed you, made sure it was
Yeah.
all good,
Yeah.
and
But this
then
one
drove it
was,
home.
all about the color,
It was,
pretty
I
much.
mean, it was definitely the reason. Like nobody in the state of Arkansas has them. It's something that you had to order. They started orders back in August because it's a limited edition. It was just going to be for 2021. They extended that out to January the 14th, I believe, but they no longer are accepting any type of orders on that. And actually, in a couple of the forums that I'm in, there's people that's been waiting since October to get their Jeeps. And so I called around to literally every dealer in
Yeah,
the
you
state of
did.
Arkansas. Some
Literally
more than
everyone.
once because I would call and they'd be like, I just spoke with you. I'm sorry.
Apparently, you didn't make a spreadsheet of who you called.
No, I didn't. But I found like a 4xe in Mountain Home in this color, and that was real close.
That was tempting, but it wasn't a Rubicon.
But right, but at the rate of the gas prices right now, there's a 4xe in Mountain Home, maybe still. I suggest somebody to go and get it.
At least you're back to working from home, so you don't have to worry about commuting.
This is true. This is true. But no, it has everything honestly that I wanted. I kind of make a joke and I say that it's push button, kind of like turnkey. But so yeah, it has it's a Rubicon and it was actually the Extreme Recon package. So it already came with 35s and it had 1.5 inches of lift. It does not have the 8-inch screen, and it also doesn't have the cold weather package. And I think just like some of the auxiliary buttons on the front, but everything else it pretty much had that I wanted. It's re-geared since it's the Extreme Recon, so that's really nice.
Yeah, it is the Extreme Recon package,
hmm
which
Yeah, and I think I
which
see
we
some
really.
pictures.
Oh yeah, I haven't been showing pictures, have I? Let's see. Where was it when we
let me
first got it?
let me tell you how to do this.
Sorry, I'm dropping the ball. There we go. There's when we first got it. That was bone stock, and
Yep.
we got the Extreme Recon because the Extreme Recon is Jeep's answer to the Sasquatch package on the Gladiator. I mean, on the Gladiator, on the
Right.
Bronco. Comes from the factory with 35s, 1.5-inch lift, re-geared to 456, and a bunch of other little goodies that are, but those are the main things.
Right.
And
LED
we,
package.
yeah, did have the LED package.
All the.
We do love how it looks next to Sully. That pink and that blue look
We kind of
really,
joke
really
about it because
cool.
I say that it's available for gender reveal parties. Like whoever shows up in which vehicle, that you'll know what baby you're having. So,
Yeah, that's actually the weekend we got it, or you got it.
yep, fully snow. And there's my
And this
first
is these are some of your
modification.
first mods, customizations. Well, I don't know if we can call them mods.
I mean, I love the
Customizations.
leopard print, and look at that bullet antenna there. It's really good.
Yeah, bullet
Matt
leopard
loves the
prints.
leopard. Funny though, he actually
I love the
drives my
color.
Jeep.
Yeah,
You
I love
drive
the
my
color.
Jeep around town more than you drive your Jeep.
That's because it gets better gas mileage than mine does. I mean, it's true. I mean, you're still rocking 16 miles per gallon, and I'm 13. So
Heck yeah.
yeah. So let's see. So let's talk about, so what have you done to it? I think this was your first mod.
Yep. And
This was your very first mod.
I'm actually doing a lot of this either by myself or you're helping me because there's some limitations to my physique. Um, but yeah, I definitely installed the goose gear. I wanted to have, um, that's right, add on leopard prints before lap bars. I definitely wanted to have the tailgate table because I know that that's going to be something that we use a lot whenever we go camping. And so I wanted to have that place. And I reached out to Aaron at Artemis to see, and I just happened to have one in stock, and so I jumped on it. And so shout out to Artemis Overland, they're super great at helping you.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So let's see. Did the tailgate table, which you installed.
Yeah, yeah, and there's also a light strip that's on the
Oh,
hatch. And
where's
I
that?
think I said,
There we
yeah,
go.
I installed that
Yep.
as well. That was given to us as an idea from James Chasen.
Yep.
They
Us.
had that put on Mjolnir, and that was actually terrifying because I had to rip off the back plastic piece in the trunk bed area, kind of where the plug-in is, if you're familiar with Wranglers. But it sounded hideous. It sounded really
Yes,
bad.
that's never fun. Let's see, what was next? Where's your lights? There we go. So we've got
Yeah,
so snorkel.
there's actually a lot in that picture. So
There is. There's
obviously
multiple
I
things.
took out the antenna. That was one of the first things. And yes, I say antenna. I'm really Southern.
Antenna.
I know it's antenna, but I say an antenna. And that's a bullet. I just like I'm pro guns, so and then the snorkel is the Rugged Ridge snorkel. I like that one because I don't like the high profile long piece. Um, and then of course I have to have my Casey lights. I didn't get my Casey light bar back from you, so this is the where I had to take.
There you go.
Yep, Lee knows.
Yep.
Been a very strong advocate in my corner. But I did paint those. I was able to paint those pink, and so I was super proud of that.
But we did well. There's more.
Yeah.
There's those. Oh, you also have the tint.
Yes.
You got tinted.
Yeah, I got the brown, got the full tint.
And you are representing Ozark Overland Adventures.
I know, and I've never done that.
Nope, you've never
in the
done
past.
that. You've always been ashamed of us.
Yep, but I never wanted to have like the same brow font. I wanted this to be a girly font, so that was pretty.
So we changed that up for you. Let's see. We have these KC lights down on the bumper.
Yeah, you surprised me with those.
I did. And those lights and the top lights, those are stupid bright. You don't need any more.
No.
You don't need any
I really
more.
like those.
Yeah.
Those were a surprise, and I definitely wanted to put those on my Jeep, but there was kind of a debate about where I was going to put them because
we got it worked out. That's what it looks like now. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep.
Now. So yeah, we got the fishbone bumper.
I've got the fishbone stubby. And if you know or if you're familiar with the fishbone bumpers, that actually comes with a bull bar, kind of in the place of where the Casey lights are on that bumper. But I took the bull bar off so that way I could put those lights there. Honestly, everybody that owns a Jeep has a bull bar or a Stinger or something, and so I just really wanted to keep it minimalist. But I also wanted to have that there just because I like the look. So yeah, you actually modded that for me.
I did today.
Yeah, those D-ring mounts there are actually a part of the old bull bar that he grinded down. And
I cut those suckers off and painted them, and they look fantastic. And I think I did a really good job.
You did.
Yeah, you were stuck in the house working today while I was doing this.
Yeah, and that's an open road Panther 9,500 pound winch, and I really like that company. So, and it's very economical.
They're good peoples.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then we don't really have a good picture of the back, do we? So, what'd you do to the back here?
It's in there.
There used to be a whole bumper there.
Yeah, I think I sent you a picture of the back bumper too.
Did you?
But that I'm actually taking. So I took the factory bumper off. You can kind of see it there. but I'm not sure if I sent that to you or
You
not.
did
I'm
not.
trying to think.
No,
Okay.
you didn't.
Okay. So I put the fishbone delete bumper. It's the bumper delete on the back there. Just because I don't want to have the weight of the rig. And I really like Way of Life's Jeep because they actually did the stubby uh, budget stubby build. And that's actually kind of what I've modeled my Jeep around because I plan on taking this to Moab and Wheeling Pritchett. And I don't want to have extra weight in the back. And there's not really much need there for the bumpers. But that delete bumper, it left the corners unfinished. And you had that on Knuckles, your old JK.
I did,
And
but mine was all black, so it didn't look as bad.
right. And I'm not saying that that looked bad. I could get away with it and it'd be fine, but it just kind of bothered me. So I put Rusty's rear fascia on the back. And I wish I could send you that picture. I don't know that I can
No,
while we're in here. I don't want to mess that
I
up.
don't think so. But it
Yeah,
looks really good. Yeah, it covers up
yeah.
that section, and it looks really good. I'm wiggling the mouse
It,
around there, like people can see where my mouse is.
I know.
So,
But right where I'm drilling right there is obviously all covered now with the rear fascia. And it also like goes up underneath. So
yeah,
that way if it's ever caught on like a boulder or something like that, it's not going to push up on the body. It's just going to push up on the fascia.
yeah. I want to see it. I want to see it caught on a boulder.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah. Let's see. And then the biggest thing. So we talked about the Recon package having a 1.5-inch lift in 35s,
hmm
but we've already removed one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, we did.
we've got a 1.5-inch Extreme Recon lift for sale. If anybody watching would like one, it will lift a Sport or Sahara JL. I think a good 2 inches probably. But yeah, so tell us what we did there.
So I wanted to be able to put 37s on. So I like the 35s. I like the gas mileage of the 35s, but I know 37s are going to be what I need for the trails that I'm wanting to run out west. Um, and I say that loosely because I know 35s would be capable, but I just want to have that little bit extra. And so we took that lift off and we put on the Clayton Off-Road 2.5-inch lift.
2.5-inch overland.
And so it's a 2.5-inch overland. So it actually gives me 2.5 inches on top, I think, of the 1.5-inch Recon. So over a stock Rubicon, I now have 4 inches of lift.
That is correct. Yeah,
It's
and it
beautiful.
looks really freaking good. Where's that photo? There you go.
Yeah.
That was just a few minutes ago before the podcast in the garage
Yeah.
with the 2.5-inch lift on it, and looks really good.
And I have one from the other angle too that you can see it even a little bit better.
That's not that one.
Not that one. It was the one in the garage as well.
No, you didn't. Oh wait, there it is. Is that it? Oh, there you go. That looks even. Yeah, that does look better.
And that's but the bull bar that we had still
Can we
on.
switch places? This is too much. This is too
You're
much.
doing great.
I'm driving. I don't like it. I'm not made for all this multitasking.
I know.
Yeah, keeping track of comments, but not this stuff. It's just too much. I'm gonna need a nap after this.
We're going to Kentucky tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll have plenty of time.
Well, I hope not.
You'll be doing nothing.
Let's see. So what? Life. Okay. So after, let's see. You picked this up on what day? What day of the week?
2/2 of 22.
2/2 of 20, which was what day of the week? Wednesday.
It's a Tuesday. I had my pocket. Well, yeah. So Wednesday is whenever I actually got it.
Okay, and so then immediately that Saturday, before even owning it a week.
Yep.
Took it to Hot Springs Off-Road Park and ran some pretty good trails.
Yeah, so we went with Robert and John and Sully, and we wheeled the 3 Badge of Honor trails. We did Snake, Rubicon, and Fun Run, and then that's totally true.
That's totally true.
But I wanted to be able to test it because I've never had lockers. I've never had a Rubicon. And so I've done a lot of stuff from a Wrangler's perspective and even a Grand Cherokee's perspective. So I know that it's super capable, but I didn't know when to put lockers or start them or what you did. And the whole disconnecting the sway bar, like with my Wrangler, the only button I had to disconnect my sway bar was me to tell my husband, and he would
It's just
disconnect my sway bar.
there's your button.
Yeah, because it was just, and you had to like get on one side of the vehicle and like to make it come out and disconnect sometime. It like
It was very
very
manual.
manual.
Very manual.
Exactly.
Man, you will.
Yeah, so it's really nice to be able to have everything at a push button, and I
So
don't ever want to jeopardize that.
yeah. So you, I think this is maybe the very first obstacle you used your lockers on. What? No, that was on Fun Run, which I don't have that photo of.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, but you were using your lockers on this.
Yeah,
On
and I didn't take any of your advice on lockers for that day because I know that you don't use your lockers that much. But you actually now have an appreciation for the rear locker.
I
So,
do. I do. I did learn an appreciation for the rear locker.
hmm
Still won't use it as much, but yeah.
yeah,
Let's see. And there's
that's
going down
Rubicon.
to Rubicon Ridge. So you earned all 3 of the Jeep badges at the park.
Yeah, yeah, which I don't know honestly if I'm going to put the G badges on my Jeep. I've thought about putting it on my headliners. That's another thing that we put in, is the hot headliners. Just because on the JLs there's not that many places on the outside to put.
No, there's not.
So I'd rather just know in my heart that I did them.
So, how was it being back in a Wrangler at the off-road park? Because
Honest,
you took your Grand Cherokee there to test it out.
hmm
We've got a video of that. And so now you're back in the Wrangler.
hmm
How did it feel?
Honestly, I just kept on wondering when I was going to start feeling tippy. Like that's one thing that I kept feeling like, when am I going to be too tippy and you're going to say, whoa, you're going to flip or you're going to roll? Because I was just so used to the Grand Cherokee's articulation where you're like three wheeling it, or, it's just a totally different whenever you have that independent suspension.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I tell everybody all the time, you are an incredibly capable driver. In addition to my favorite spotter, like there's no one I trust spotting me more than I do you,
I appreciate that.
because you know what you're doing. You have a good history driving off road, learning at the off road park, and
Mhm.
when it comes to wheeling, you got it going on, babe.
I've never ran into a tree, if that's what you're saying.
That's not true.
It is true.
No,
You've ran into trees.
you slid into a tree on your Grand Cherokee.
Well, that was the root's fault. That's not my fault. It comes to me over.
And I've never run into a tree at the off road park.
Yeah.
I run into trees on trails. Um, let's see. All the other people just cried a little. Well, it happens. It happens. Oh, here's a good idea. Put the badges on the tailgate
Yeah.
cable. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And
I
there's
like
I
that.
think I think there's 60 trails. So I think they would all have to fit. I would have to measure out beforehand just to know that they would all fit.
Yeah, actually, Lee
Um,
had basically the same idea.
yeah, that's a good idea.
That's not a bad idea. So, okay, well, here's a question because you had some badges that you had earned um, when from your Grand Cherokee. Are those going to go
Mhm.
on Boo?
Well, I mean, I definitely want to run those trails in my Wrangler, and I know that we'll go back out west, and so I definitely will have the advantage to be able to run them. But I've already ran them in a Jeep, and I've already
Yeah,
ran them in a Grand Cherokee.
and you ran them. You
So,
had
I
already
mean,
run them in your previous Wrangler.
yeah, but that goes back to me saying I don't really have anything to prove. I mean, like I'm just out here to have a good time. Like I've said, Pritchett. If I run Pritchett, because or no, when I run Pritchett, that will probably be just the badge that goes on the outside, the one badge. Just because I think
The
if you've run Pritchett,
right there in the middle of the
I think
driver's
that's
side
all
door,
that.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jared wants to
Yeah.
know when you're at More Expo, are you going to run over to S'more and grab those badges?
Yeah, there's actually talk of James, Chasen, and some other of our friends going there and spending the day. And I've thought about
Are you leaving me?
piggybacking because I mean, yeah, yeah. I've heard your
I
classes.
mean,
If I need any help,
I've
I'll
already
just
run
watch a
them.
lifestyle overland video.
Yeah, I've already run them
So,
in Sully, so
yeah,
and winched up one of them in Sully. So there's that.
yeah. I'm super pumped for more though, Jared. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
Moore's going to be fantastic.
Yep. I'm actually a little sad that it wasn't here Valentine's Day. I mean, probably my wallet's not sad because I would have spent a lot of money, probably more.
Yeah, I'm still expecting that we probably still will in a month.
Well, I hope not. I hope I have
So.
everything that I need.
Well, let's talk about so lift, bumpers, front and rear, winch, lights, snorkel, tailgate table, headliners. I mean, we've already knocked out really
Mhm.
fast some key things.
There's still
What's next? I
something.
mean, we've still got some things that are left. So what about those?
Well, let's start off by saying whenever I first got the Jeep, I wasn't gonna do anything else. Like I legit wasn't gonna do anything else. Because
We're going to buy it
it
and
was
keep it
an
stock.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's an extreme recon, so it's
Right.
already got 35s, and so it's
Stock.
already lifted. Yeah, it's not stock, but I was gonna keep it that way. And then we actually were contacted by Amazing Company for a rooftop tent, and we've always run Global Road Outdoors in Little Rock, and so we contacted James at Global Road just to see if he was okay with us taking the offer from this other company. And he was like, sure, totally pumped about it. So I actually am looking at the iCamper Skycamp Mini in a box in front of me. And so I was like, dibs, I got dibs. And so I put the iCamper, I'm going to put the iCamper on after I get the Rhino rack. I'm going to get the Vortex bar system. And so once that started, then I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to put a tent on it, it may lower the body a little bit. And so I was just like, I'm going to have to get a lift. And then you start just keep going. And
And if I'm
so
going
I'm
to
going
get
to
a
put the tent.
lift,
Yeah,
then I might as
I
well
might
go
as well get the tires.
37s. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to get 40.
It's like the Jeep version of the children's book. If you give a mouse a cookie,
Yeah.
if you buy
Well,
your
they
wife
gave
a
him
Jeep,
out a
she's
tent.
gonna want to. She's gonna
No, they
want
gave him out a tent.
give a mouse a tent.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I'm super pumped. Of course, James is a great dude in Global Road, so he was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so we have the iCamper, and we told the iCamper people, we're like, "We're gonna tell you and be honest because I don't make this an ad or anything for Global Road, but those are some amazing tents for super cheap compared to the iCamper. So they've already got that leg up on them. So
Yeah, we once we finally
anyway.
get it
Yeah,
on
there
the
you
Jeep,
go.
we're going to have it. I'm doing a full comparison video between the Global Road Outdoor Tent and iCamper, and both companies are like, "Yes, please do that. We want you to do that." So
Well, and
that'll be fantastic.
I honestly needed a place to sleep because the Jeep cannot pull. I'm losing the capability of pulling the camper, you know, and
Yes.
so the Conqueror is something that only Sully can pull now, which mine can pull it in a pinch for short space distances. But I'm fixing to go to a women's event this summer with Lady Overlander Radio. I signed up for that, so I'm gonna need a place to sleep, and so I would have needed a tent. So, but with that, I'm
Well, I'm
getting
glad you got the tent.
37s. I'm getting 37s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 38s. I need to talk to you about that.
Oh wait, what?
Well, I know what you're about to get, and I'm
Yes.
thinking I could just go ahead and get the same.
No, you wanted the hybrid tires though.
I don't know. We'll discuss later. We don't have an argument on
We don't
the
need to
show.
do this on air. Although I'm sure people would love it. So all right. So I mean, after tires, are we in a happy
No,
place? Katie
no.
wants to know what some other products you're looking at.
So I'm looking at Rusty's off-road
Oh, that's what we need
rock
sliders.
sliders.
Yeah, I forgot about
Yep, I
sliders.
need this. I know I need the sliders. I definitely want to do that. I already have the bumper situation good. Honestly, I think sliders, and then I need a way to mount. I did get the ARB dual air compressor, and so I want to figure out how to mount that either under the passenger seat or All American Adventure. Is it All American Adventure? What is
American
it?
Adventure
American
Lab.
Adventure? Yeah,
American
American
Adventure
Adventure
Labs.
Labs. They have a they
Yeah,
have
we're gonna be hanging out
a
with them and
mountain.
more. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be hanging out with them and more,
yeah.
making good
But
friends.
really, that's honestly about it. There's a couple little random things that I would like to get. Like I mentioned, my screen is a smaller screen. So Stinger actually makes I think it's a 10-inch screen. A
Hmm.
couple of our friends have, and they seem to be really nice. And it has the off-road pages, which is something that I don't have on the screen. And since I'll be wheeling it a lot, I'd like to have that.
Yeah, once those finally become available, they're not available
Yeah.
because of the chip shortage. Let's see. Lee asked, so when's the Rieger happening? And actually, it's not. It's not
Well, if I
because
go to 40s, it will have to happen.
you're not going to 40s.
You
You're
heard
not
it.
going to
He
40s.
said I'm not going to 40s.
If I'm
Stay
not going to
tuned.
40s, if I'm not going to 40s, you're not going to 40s because the
Stay
Gladiator needs
tuned for when
40s.
Cara goes to 40s.
You're not going to
Just
40s.
saying. I'm
So
trying to get
Lee,
really warm in here because of this little. He set me up the little propane heater.
yes,
I'm
she's got a
starting to like
campfire.
sweat.
She got a campfire going in the garage. Yeah. So the Extreme Recon package came with 4, 5, 6 gears,
Yeah.
and that's actually should turn the 37 is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So
I'll be fine with that. You mean 38?
yeah,
The 38.
whatever, whatever. Um,
What's
1941 Adventure
up?
says hello. That's it. What's so? Wow. I mean, it just sounds like we're close. If we can just get some of these things in, Boo's going to be in a real happy place.
Yeah. Like I said, the Stinger is just like a random thing. There's another company called Clear Lids. I think that'd be kind of cool to have, but nothing major. Yeah, Troy, I love what you think. No,
Oh
because
my gosh.
I don't want to mess up my gas mileage, you guys. Because when we do go full
All the
time, that's
men,
gonna be
all the men, don't buy your wife a Wrangler. It's financially draining.
yeah.
It is.
Well, I
It's
will say we've had some we've had some really good companies reach out to us. Obviously, I wouldn't have a tent. Well, we would probably go with Global Road.
you already had a
Um,
tent.
right. But and then we received our winch from Oakland. So yeah, I see the question. As far as keeping both vehicles when you go on the road full time, yeah, I definitely having two vehicles is always our plan. It was either going to be a van or it's going to be my Grand Cherokee or a Bronco. Just for the mere fact that if Matt is off roading, I may not want to go do those trails that he's going to. I may want to stay back. And then also, if something happens to Matt's Gladiator and it has to go into the shop for some reason, we have another means of transportation while we're out on the road. We actually know some friends that didn't, and they were kind of stranded, and we don't want
Yeah,
that.
that's true. Yep, we did. There was another question. Oh, they wanted to know why was the towing capacity decreased.
Wranglers just don't have the towing capacity that Grand Cherokees have. I think the towing capacity on a Wrangler is like 3,000. Correct me if I'm
3,500.
wrong, babe. Yeah,
3,500.
3,500. And our dry weight on the Conquer is about 33.
It's 4,000 fully. It's 4,000 fully loaded. 3,500 dry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3,500 dry. So, I mean, like I said, I could pull it in a pinch, but that's completely dry, and we obviously don't run it dry. So, but yeah, definitely rock sliders. Definitely want to have that just for the fact of people can't park in parking lots, and so don't
Yeah,
want them to ding my door.
great way to prevent
Oh,
door dings.
and that's another
What?
thing I may look at is
What?
I thought about like ceramic coating,
Oh, well,
but I
actually,
think
look,
I've
here's a question. How do you protect your paint? I
well,
don't.
he
I
doesn't,
don't. I don't.
and
It's
there's
just a
plenty of
fact of
fixes
life.
out there with
Yeah.
matchstick, and like he takes his. I'm a lot more sensitive to that than he is. He doesn't really care. Um, but I plan on getting a buffer and buffing it out. But also, I've looked at, I can't remember the name of it, but Bryce, one of our friends who's actually going with you to Kentucky, recommended a clear wrap. It starts with an L. I'm gonna say like Lumelier or something. I don't know. But that's what I've heard is really really good. It's kind of like a ceramic coating, but it's also the wrap portion, and I don't know. I don't want to miss. I don't want to mess up my colors.
Don't know. Let's see. What are this? You need trail. You need clear trail scales for Boo. No buffer need. I don't know what a trail scale is.
Is that like the goat armor?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking it would be like. The goat
Maybe.
armor that Toyotas have.
Possibly. I don't know. Something for you to Google later.
I will.
Yeah. Let's see. There was another question here. Oh, Lee wants to know, do you have a fridge and kitchen setup?
Yeah, so I already have my fridge. I kept my Dometic that I've had since the get-go. It's a CFX. What is it? Which one is it? 55
See if it.
IM.
Yeah, that one.
And I honestly
It's
never
sitting right
used.
next to me. It's sitting right
Yeah,
next to me
it's like the
in the
test
office.
fridge that Matt uses to test things
It's
against.
become my test fridge.
So I've yet to really use it. But yeah, I'm gonna just put it in the back. And as far as having a kitchen setup, I have some totes from Artemis that have like my cooking gear and that kind of stuff in. I don't plan to do like any drawer system again, just because of the weight. Whenever I do go to Pritchett, I do plan on running the way one of our friends did, John Rodowski, whenever he went. He completely took off his rear tire and put it in the back of his vehicle, took out the back seats, and I completely plan on doing that too.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah,
be
Lee,
very
for the
light.
yeah. Lee, this is the only thing we needed for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because we already had everything else.
Yep.
So that was it. Let's see. So the Wrangler's really close to
Yep.
being at the point that we want it to be.
Definitely. And it's so much, it's been kind of overwhelming because coming from the Grand Cherokee world where it was so limited, you couldn't get anything in, coming back to the regular world, it's like a buffet. And it's just like, I have no idea what I want.
Yeah, you've been quite overwhelmed and sometimes very stressed over what to get.
Well, I want to make the right choice the first time and not have to pay for a lot. And I'm still paying on student loans from college. I couldn't make my mind up. So that's the same philosophy.
Yeah. Anvil's Adventures was so for me. Do you let me drive the new Boo? And yes,
I,
I drive it all the time.
he does. I actually my unliking because he will drive it all the time. I'm like, why don't you ever drive your vehicle anymore? It makes me angry.
Because yours gets 16 miles per gallon and mine gets 13.
Yeah.
And it's
I
too
will
cold
say,
to take the e-bikes.
yeah, I
So
will
that's why.
say you don't drive with the pink rock lights on.
No, I don't. Not at night. I
I
don't.
will totally. I
You
totally
do.
drive around Conway with pink rock lights on
She does.
because it's
She
cool.
does. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk. We've covered Boo really, really well.
Yeah,
What are some of the
I love my Jeep.
plans you have to do with Boo? Boo will be at more.
Yeah,
So
we will
Boo
be at
will be
more.
at more Expo. And you
Yeah, and
may go wheel it at S'more
hmm
while at the More Expo. Um, I know now that we've got the lift on it, and once we get the tires, we're going to get to Hot Springs Off-Road Park just as soon as possible.
Yes.
And need to get down to Mud Connections just so we can see who still flexes the best.
Yeah.
Sully or Boo.
Yeah. I'm hoping that, I bet
because I want to know.
I bet it's me because you got a lot of junk in your trunk.
Yeah, I mean I do, but yeah, may have to take the weight out for that trip.
Oh, I see.
So
yeah,
what else?
I plan on being at more. Obviously, love more. Big Iron is coming up. Definitely going to be there. I love everything that Chris Holloway puts forth. He gives it all. So shout out to them. My new job, I don't have as much time off, so I kind of have to use that around. We were going to go to Yellowstone. That is not going to work out for me. I'm hoping that I'm going to get to go to Expo West because you're probably going to go to Expo West, and
I'm going to Expo West.
I've always wanted to go, and so I would love to go to that. I don't think Boo will be there because gas mileage and gas prices at that point will probably be $8.
Boo may be the only one we take.
True, that could also be a possibility. But then obviously we're going to go to Colorado this year and will it, and I'm definitely going to take my Jeep.
Wait, what? You weren't gonna take your Jeep to Colorado.
I know. I am.
Oh, okay. So now we're taking both vehicles to Colorado?
Yeah. Well, Mama makes some good money now.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I'm
Okay,
supporting your little YouTuber self, so yeah, I want to treat myself.
Okay, I'm down. Because we're gonna go run one of the most difficult
Holy
trails
Cross.
in Colorado, of Holy Cross, and that's on our agenda for the summer.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
So no.
All right. And you mentioned a ladies trip.
Yes. I have the ladies trip coming up with Lady Overlander Radio this summer. And honestly, I haven't mentioned this on the show or in any public forum areas. So I would like to have feedback given to me if anybody is still watching.
This is the world announcement.
Yeah, I'm thinking about creating some type of overlanding off-roading event that will happen like maybe once a month or once every month, where on Friday night a bunch of ladies get together, we go like camp, or we go to Hot Springs at the off-road park, or we go have dinner one night, or just a whole bunch of camaraderie. I don't know. Just because we don't get to do this as much as we put in. We don't put ourselves first. And so I think sometimes we need to have a ladies' time. And a lot of ladies don't ever get out to go wheeling. And I know some things. And so I think with all of us combined, I'm always about empowering other women. And so I would love to put a bunch of women together that could have that trip. So tell me.
Lisa wants you to get to Kansas Rocks.
I want to go so bad. And I want you to take me because you know that place. You and Katie.
All right, look, if you're going to Kansas Rocks, I don't care. If you're going to Kansas Rocks, I don't care if it's the ladies thing. I'm going. So.
Well, as long as you follow around
I'll camp way away from you. I'll camp away.
You could film us.
Oh, I could. That would be great.
You could. Yeah, you could be like the hired help. But so anyways, yeah, I want to put like a bunch of ladies together and just create an event. Like, let's say the first time that we all meet up at the Hot Springs Off-Road Park and just wheel some of the trails out there. Oh, don't even say bye, Mattawig. He gets made fun of with his hair all the time, bless his heart. But that's just an idea that I have, and I've been tossing this around for about a month and thinking of what I could call it. And then I was also tossing up with the idea that I don't want it to be just another Jeep club or a Jeep group. I just want it to be a bunch of friends with that same mindset. So anyway, that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to do.
I think that's fantastic, and I fully support you jumping into that.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie's inviting you to drive the Truggy.
Oh my gosh.
When you come to K-Rocks.
I think that would make me cry. I love the Truggy so much.
You haven't even seen it in person.
I've not. I've admired it from afar.
It's freaking sweet.
Yeah,
It
they're
is.
amazing,
It is
ladies.
very freaking sweet.
They're amazing.
Okay, so
But yeah,
all the ladies that are watching, I'm looking in the
yeah,
chat. There's quite a few.
yeah. Let me know.
Let Cara know if you are interested in some ladies group thing,
Shoot me a message on
get
Facebook,
regular
Instagram.
get together once a month kind of thing. Not
I'll,
always a full weekend, not always an overnighter, but at least one
or
day a
maybe just
month
some margaritas at a
getting
Mexican
together.
restaurant. I support tacos. I'm down.
So,
But yeah, and then there's some other news that's coming with the podcast. Um, I've been doing the
you got some
podcast.
big guests coming up.
Yeah, and also I've been doing the podcast on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. That has been great because there's nobody else doing a podcast at that time, and that's one of the things that I've run up against. We are really, really good friends with Misty and Arla with Lady Overlander Radio, and then we're also really good friends with Joey and Tony Crest, Bats Off Road and Friends, Overland Philosopher, all that. So I just didn't want to overlap people. And so starting in April, I'm actually going to have my podcast on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Just allows me to not have to like work a full-time job all day and then stay up that late. And then sometimes people can't watch that late. So I've got that change happening in April. Oh my
I
gosh,
fully
I'm so
support this decision.
excited. I'm so excited about the people that we have coming on. So first off, next week we have Amy Marler with Lady Wound Toyotas. Lee Gibson is going to be in there as well. And then we actually have Joey and Connie, The Adventures of the Professor. And then I think there's a couple special people that are coming on. Jared Cook and Kayla. I can't wait to hear about places that they've been. And then there's also a person named Brad that has like a million Jeeps. Trail Recon is coming on. I don't know the dates and times for him. But also Tara McGovern. She's got to go shoot some pictures, photography out at Easter Jeep Safari. And then we have Brittany and Kevin with Light Bright. They're going to cop on. The feedback that I've just gotten is so supportive with the podcast. It's really hard. You just never know. But I do it because I like to hear about people who do the driving. I don't want to hear about the rigs and all of this stuff that you've listened to about 30 minutes of me talking about my vehicle. I want to learn the stories and the why and what they've seen and kind of like giving a camera lens to a child and getting their perspective on things.
Well, tell us your why. Tell us your
My why, my why for overlanding is being able to do something that I never thought I would do. I grew up from a small town, and it was always you either have babies whenever you graduate or you go to school, but that was more not heard of. So I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be traveling and be able to build a vehicle like this that can do things. So pushing my boundaries, I guess, it just gives me some confidence that I've not had growing up. I was never with the popular crowd. That was never my jam. I kind of want people to accept me for who I am. So that's my why.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Pete says, can't wait to see the upcoming adventures.
Me too.
Yeah, fantastic. Where so a lot of people don't know this, but you had one job.
Yeah.
And then you changed and you went back to work in retail pharmacy.
Yeah.
Local at Kroger, and that afforded you a crap ton of time off because they were
Yes.
super. They let you work 10-hour shifts, and you could work basically
Mm-hmm.
7 10s in a row.
Mhm.
over the course
But
of the
that seventh
weekend.
day was quite
And you were super
rough.
grumpy during this. You were super grumpy during the 7 days. But then you had 7 days off and allowed us to travel together, which we took advantage of and did New Mexico. We did Big Bend,
Yeah.
and loved doing that. But you are now back to working for the previous company, back working from home. I'm sitting in your desk chair right here.
Yeah. Mhm.
But because of that change, you don't have the time off
Yeah.
again.
And I miss
So,
that so much.
and so hopefully, yeah, hopefully we can get that worked out. Because you originally were going to go on the KAT to Kentucky with me tomorrow. Now you're not.
Mhm.
We had a Yellowstone trip planned that has been canceled.
Yeah.
Now I'm for sure going to Expo West, and we're not sure about you.
Yeah.
So we gotta figure that out. But you're definitely going to Colorado,
I am.
even
And
if you have to
definitely
quit that
gonna
job.
go.
Even if you have to quit that job.
Yeah. There's just so much, and it's really kind of hard because we've thought about it. We're just traveling off road together. We love it, but that's our end goal. And so we need to pay off bills now so that way we can afford a little bit more financial freedom whenever we are on the road full time. But that being said, we've also had some sponsors come on for the channel that have helped us um, to reevaluate our situation. So if we do have the opportunity to be able to go and me work, back in retail, that's still on the table because honestly, I'm still working the two jobs. I'm still working at home,
Yeah,
but I also work.
Jared's concerned about the Kroger discount and whether or not we've lost it for that Kroger bacon.
You can still get the Kroger. Actually, thanks to Kroger for giving us $100 thank you for being employees, we could probably get some bacon for free.
Yeah, actually, I bought bacon today for my trip to Kentucky, Jared. So I got that smokehouse bacon sitting in my fridge right now, ready to cook in Kentucky. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
we did leave out. You are still working at Kroger.
I still work retail pharmacy.
1 weekend a month,
Yeah,
just so we can keep the discount, Jared.
honestly, it's a really good discount. But I just want to have that in my back pocket too for like having the part time if we're able to leave the company that I am with, so that way I can just work a couple weekends because I miss being off. I miss being able to travel with you. So
Yeah, this week this Kentucky trip's gonna be a challenge because
I will say to Troy real quick, I can't do that. I think I have to be Ethernet plugged in.
I thought you could.
I
I thought they said
can,
you could.
but I think I have to be hardwired for some things. I haven't figured that out. My computer wouldn't work all for a Wi-Fi, so I don't know.
We may just need to go on a trip and see, and like the next day, like Monday, you try to log in and see what happens.
Yeah,
So maybe so.
yeah.
All right. Well, we got 7 minutes left. What else we want to talk about?
The price of gas after buying a Jeep is rough. That was not a
By
smart decision.
Well, honestly, it's a wash because you were getting 16 miles per gallon in the Grand Cherokee as well. So that's not.
But when I go to
It's not
37s,
what
it won't be a wash.
you don't have to be so negative.
I'm just being real.
We don't know what that's going to be like with your current gearing. So
Yeah, that's true.
we don't know. But
There's also the bonfire run that we plan on going on. I
and
don't know if I'll be able to.
we've got all of our local stuff. March,
Yeah,
we got trip in March. We got our gathering in March. We've got local stuff every month, always.
yeah, I'll definitely be at Rendezvous in the Ozarks this year. I wouldn't miss that. That's about it.
That sounds good. Wait, here's a new one from. Where do you both wish you could go? Take off. Just take off and go
Where?
right now. Um, I think we'd pack up and immediately go back to Big Bend
That's the first thing that came into my head.
because we loved Big Bend so much, and there's so
Mhm.
much we didn't get to see there.
With the inflatable kayak.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think we could spend a week. I think we could easily spend a week in Big Bend and not get bored.
Oh yeah, and just to spend a week in
We
Big
could
Bend
probably
away
spend a
from
week in.
people.
We could probably spend 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Mo Leisure, whenever I was talking with them, they they went and they stayed 2 weeks. So I definitely think. But as far as like where we would go, there's so many places I don't want to go. Like I want to go to Glacier so bad. I go to Glacier so bad. So I definitely want to be able to go there. And that's I just want to go. I just want to go. That's all. I just
we're
wherever. I don't care. Away from people, honestly, because
we're going. We're going to. So
it's really
we've
nice to
inspired Clinton.
unplug.
We've
Yeah.
inspired Clinton. He wants to take 2 weeks off and drive to Moab, which I highly recommend. Do it.
Yeah. Well, he said he
Do
did.
it.
It inspired him to take 2 weeks off.
At the end of April, he's going. Dude, that's going to be awesome. We've never spent that long in April. We've only spent, 5 days is the longest we've spent in Moab.
Yeah.
Right?
You need to stay on Porcupine Rim.
Porcupine Rim Campground is fantastic.
So out in Moab, some of the trails that I would do, obviously, is Hell's Gate. That's
We don't
just
know
an
what vehicle
iconic.
he has. We don't know.
Yeah, true. What kind of vehicle do you have, Clinton? I need to know.
Post it up in the comment real quick.
Yeah. But even if you don't have a super, super like capable rig, I guess I would say, Chicken Corners is way cool. That's not too technical, but the views are just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I love Chicken Corners. It was a fun trail.
Yeah, and I've heard Onion Creek is really pretty. I don't know how technical it is.
I want it. So Clinton, the last time we went to Moab, I told Cara, I don't want to run any more of the named trails. I just want to go explore the backcountry and park and explore all the non-named trails. And
but it's also because we've done the named trails.
There is, yeah.
So for the people that haven't done the trails, highly suggest those if your vehicle is capable. What is that? What does it say?
I don't know what an FX4 is.
FX4 leveled on 33s. Is that side by side?
No, is that a Frontier?
Frontier.
I'm not sure, but leveled on 33s. It sounds like you're going to be fine for the normal trails. With the Hell's Revenge.
Don't do Pritchett.
Oh, the F-150.
Oh, F-150. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So you're wider. So you wouldn't be able to do I wouldn't do Pritchett, and I wouldn't do.
Oh, he can do Pritchett, not that. But all the normal trails. I mean, he can do Hell's Revenge. He can do Fenton things. Chicken Corners, he'd love. Onion Creek, he would love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Get the Moab book. The trails. What is that trail?
Fun Treks. The Fun Treks guide. Yeah, get the Fun Treks guide. That is a handy resource for all things Moab and Colorado.
And if you don't have, if you don't want to carry around the actual book, you can actually, if you have an iPhone, you can download that in the bookstore on your Apple or your iPhone, and then it's all electronic. So that way you can just save it offline. You don't have service. That's what we were doing whenever we were in Colorado. So that way you don't have to deal with flipping through pages.
Yep, it worked great.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so many places out in Moab, out west. And honestly, I want to go up in Peninsula. I want to go visit Cindy Pope and Core this year. That's one of the main places I want to go to in Michigan. There's just so many places that I want to go see. Everywhere that I haven't been is on my list.
I can think of a few places you could scratch off that you haven't been.
I bet not.
Like Illinois.
No, I bet you there's something in Illinois. That's my whole.
I can't find it.
Well, that's the difference between me and you. I have an open mind, and you don't.
I mean, actually, Chicago's not bad.
Yeah, that's like one of the things.
As far as off-roading goes, as far as exploring the backcountry, there's no backcountry in Illinois.
Do you remember what I said whenever you asked me, where are we first going to go whenever we are on the road full time?
Yeah, New York.
New York.
Which I believe I facepalmed you.
You probably did.
Actually, Kansas, I've seen some cool little nuggets in Kansas.
Yeah, Jason Harris.
Kansas, we have given a bad rap driving through it on our way to Colorado once, and it was.
That's because we stick through the interstate.
But we stuck to the main highways and interstates. But I've seen some. I've seen some little nuggets in Kansas. I mean, Kansas Rocks is in Kansas. Big Brutus is in Kansas.
Yeah.
And there's some other places.
Yeah,
So
Jason Harris has posted some pictures in Kansas that are really pretty.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think there's some state. I think there's some state parks in Kansas that are really beautiful.
Yeah, there's obviously
Um,
I want to go to state parks. I have the map that has you can collect the stamps at all the places. Maris is on definitely on the list.
yeah,
We
definitely
definitely
go to
want to go
Maris.
see that. But
So
yeah, I think there's a place in every state, honestly. I don't think there's a state that doesn't have something to offer.
we're gonna find
Whether
out.
it's, yeah, even if it's like just some small town dining experience, we can check it off the list.
That's true. Well, on that, it is 10 o'clock, and I'm ready to get you out of the garage and back in the house.
It's very cozy in here.
Is it hot in there?
It's probably 90 degrees.
Oh Lord.
I'm sweating under this sweatshirt, the sweatshop.
All right. Well, let's get you out of there and back in the house, and I'll come turn off the campfire that you have going on in the
Or bring
garage. So,
marshmallows.
well, thanks for joining me, babe.
Yeah, thanks for
I
having
appreciate
me
I
on.
appreciate you having me on your I appreciate me having you on your show, or
Yep.
however that works.
Well,
So,
I just gonna say before we leave, shout out to all the badass women who make International Women's Day in the off-roading community what it is, because there's not that much of a voice for the women, and I think you need it. That is all.
well, very good word. Lots of love coming from everybody. So, anyway, guys, next Tuesday, same time. Time's
Mhm.
not switching until April. So, next Tuesday, come back and hang out with us again. And we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, guys, you guys say bye. Bye, y'all.